everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of Just Jimny. Today we're going to be looking at the JB74 that I bought 2019, and I'm going to run through my experience with this car so far, the choices I made on accessories for this car, why I made those choices, and also we're going to look at the different models available to the guys. I see there are a lot of questions on should the guys be going for the GL, the GLX manual or the GLX auto. We're going to look at those different models in the range, and I'm going to say why I chose the GLX manual for my personal use. So first off, what I want to do is I want to share with you guys why I chose the new Jimny over other cars, why I chose that specific model, and why I'm putting certain accessories on my car and I'm not putting other accessories on my car. I'm also going to tell you on the future accessories I'm planning for the car so far, and my thinking behind how I put accessories onto my car, and when you need to start looking at accessories for certain uses that you're going to have for your car. Why did I choose my Jimny, and what do I want to do with it? First off, what I want to do with my Jimny, I want to go a totally different route that I went with Zilla. I want to have a good all-rounder car. So a good all-rounder, in my opinion, it must be good with city driving, must be good on long tar roads, good for overlanding if I want to do overlanding trips, and it must still be capable enough to be a weekend 4x4 toy for me. Around here we don't have the opportunity to do overlandings 3-4 times a year. I have to look at maybe 1 or 2 big overlanding trips per year. You have to take into consideration the cost of an overlanding trip and how much time you've got available to do that in. So I'd still like to keep my car as a good all-rounder. So I can use it for weekend trips, but also for overlanding trips, and then of course day-to-day driving to work, that type of stuff. So let's look at the different model options we've got a choice on here in South Africa. Let's look at the GL model. The GL model I think is great if you just want a 4x4. If you want a 4x4 toy or just an overlander, the GL is a good choice. At that price point you can already have tires and maybe a suspension fitted for the price difference between the GLX manual and the GL. But the things I missed in the GL is the creature comforts. Electric windows, it's got manual windows, it's got normal headlights. It doesn't have the nice head unit that's Android Auto compatible, and those are very nice to have when you're doing a daily commute to and from work. And you know what, the Android Auto works great. I love that. It's the command from the steering wheel, the voice commands from the steering wheel works great. I haven't had experience with the CarPlay yet, but with the Android Auto, that's what sold me on the GLX. Okay, next up is the GLX Auto. I think the Auto is awesome off-road. It's great for city driving when you're sitting in traffic. I think where it comes short is you're still sitting with a 1500 engine. As soon as you do mods with bigger tires, different suspensions, all that stuff, the Auto, you're going to have to do, I think it's going to cost you more money to accessorize an Auto, because as soon as you start playing around with tire sizes, that type of stuff, the Auto is probably going to cost you a bit more than the manual does. My belief still, if I look at a car that's Auto, I want a big engine behind it. Otherwise, as soon as you're on the long road, you have uphills, all that stuff, the car is always hunting for gears to try and keep you up to speed. The other downside for me is when you off-road, autos are very difficult to repair. You can just have a flat battery and you can't even push start the auto to get going. So in my opinion, if you're looking at the auto, it's city driving and extreme 4x4 trails that you're doing. For overlanding, I think you're going to get tired afterwards of this car hunting for gears the whole time. If you look at sand driving, the auto will also maybe bite you later on if you're doing heavy sand driving, maybe in the dunes, that type of stuff. So in my opinion, I can just say that's why I didn't go for the auto. I know there's a lot of guys out there happy with their autos, but that's my reason why I didn't choose the auto. Okay, looking at the GLX manual, I think it's a favorite choice between the guys. It's got the right size engine, the gearbox doesn't give problems, it's quite smooth, it's great for city driving, it's great on the open road. I can keep 120 kilometers per hour in the manual in 5th gear without any problems. You know, if you're passing slower trucks and that stuff, I like to gear back to 4th gear and then overtake, because you always have that bit of extra power available for overtaking other cars. The head unit in the car works great for me. After we did the speaker upgrades, that head unit, the integration with Android and Apple CarPlay, it's amazing. You actually have voice control from the steering wheel, and that works great as well. For daily traveling from work and back, it's nice and comfortable. You know, you can see your WhatsApp messages coming through, emails, calls, all that stuff. I think the in-car mic system for that is also great. And you know what? I think if you're looking for a good all-around car, the GLX manual is a good one to go for. I think that's a favorite in this range. And if you're thinking the same way I'm thinking, you want to use this car for multiple purposes and you're not just building it for one purpose, the GLX manual is a good one to go for. Okay, so now let's look at the accessories. So because I didn't know this car, I took it 100% standard. We went away for a weekend with some friends, also Jimny drivers and ex-Jimny drivers, and my brand new Suzuki had 100 kilometers on, and I took it to one of the scariest trails in South Africa called Mokgatle. Mokgatle is a terror trail, but I've got a lot of experience. My friends have got good experience with this trail, so you know what, I was confident that the car was capable enough of finishing it with too much damage. And this was a good point for me to sit down and make a decision and say, okay, let's see what accessories this car requires to do Mokgatle without any major damage to the panels, that type of stuff. Luckily, I've got the experience, I've got experienced drivers with me, so I will not do damage to the car unknowingly. So we took that whole trail, and throughout the whole trail, the GLX impressed me immensely. The suspension was a bit soft. There's a bit of rock and sand in Mokgatle as well, and we had rain over that weekend. So as we progressed throughout the trail, I started to realize, okay, underbody protection is a must. My radial cups caught a few times, and I also scratched the back diff a bit on a rock. Even with my experience and with guidance from my friends, we couldn't get a line through where we didn't scratch either the radial cups or the diffs. So underbody protection was number one on my list. There's also a lot of rocks on the side, so your side sills are exposed as well. Luckily I didn't damage those, and I'd rather take a hit underneath the car than the side sills taking a dent. So the rock sliders were a consideration as well. The other big thing that I was thinking about is tires at that stage. So I had to get my car a bit higher off the ground to just give that the diffs a little bit more clearance at the bottom. And tires are the only way that you're going to get your diffs a bit higher off the ground. So after I did the trip to Mogatli with my friends, I sat down and I did an assessment of how the Jimny did over that period on the weekend. And that's taking everything in consideration. The camping equipment we packed, how it did with the extra load in the car, driving bad gravel roads with the car, and then of course on the 4x4 trail how it performed. So after our trip to Mogatli, I decided that I really needed tires. I needed to get the diffs a bit higher off the ground. That's why I went for the 215/75 R15 BF Goodrich all-terrains. The normal tires were fine, but if you're going to a bit more extreme place, the normal road going tires didn't do well on the gravel roads. I didn't like the grip they gave me on rocks and mud at all. So that didn't fit in with my all-rounder idea that I've got with this new Jimny. Other thing that I realized that I would probably not change was I could do most of Mogatli, which is sharp inclines, sharp declines, and the bumpers were excellent. The bumpers didn't catch anywhere, and this was on a standard car. So why go and put up steel bumpers and add extra weight if you can do level 5 obstacles without your bumpers catching in the front or at the back? So that was great for me. I think Suzuki did a great job on the front and rear bumper design, and your approach and departure angles on them are excellent. Even if you catch them at the, most of the time you're going to catch them at the bottom. Nobody sees the bottom of your bumpers. So think about, before just putting on the steel bumpers, you're adding a lot of weight. You're going to probably need to upgrade your suspension again if you go with the steel bumper route. That's why I decided after that first trail, bumpers are not required on my car at all. Things that are required is underbody protection. Those radial cups keep on hitting everywhere, even on a mild trail like the Wild. The radial cups keep on catching on rocks and that type of stuff, and you want to protect them. You don't want rust to start forming them. You don't want the guys to have a tough time while they're working on your car because the plates are bent. Remember, if you're selling on this car, people are going to look underneath and see if it's been used off-road. If they see protection plates, they know this guy wanted to look after his car. So keep that in mind. It's a good one. Rock sliders I had a tough time with. Sourcing them in South Africa, the guys were still building rock sliders for the old Jimny. So with my rock sliders, I went for the Wild Dog rock sliders. They looked like they could provide good protection on the car, and they designed it in a nice way that it fits in with the wheel arches of the car. So I like those, and they're on now, and I've been using them. They're performing quite well for me so far. I'm still waiting for my front and rear diff protectors. I think they're more as a precaution. The diffs are quite tough, but like again, I said, if you have that underbody protection on, selling on your car is not going to be a problem. If you're driving in rough terrain, and especially trails that you've never driven before, having that underbody protection is worth their weight in gold. The suspension I fitted was the 40mm Tough Dog suspension. I went for the normal load, and I'm very happy with the suspension. We're going to be doing a video just focusing on that Tough Dog suspension and my experience with it so far. I've had it in for almost a year now. We've done a lot of trails. I did a lot of gravel road driving, a lot of tar driving, and so far very happy with that suspension. But we'll focus on that more in the video that we're focusing just on the suspension. Something I also realized on the new Jimny is the seats fold back 100% flat, but there's a lot of hard plastics around them. And I wanted to look at a way to protect those plastics, especially when you're camping or you're doing an overlanding trip. You always have something that's going to be rattling around or scratching those plastics, and I wanted to protect the car against that. So Suzuki actually had rubber mats available for the footwells and for the rear of the car. It looked like good quality stuff, so I added the rubber mats, I added the rain deflectors, and I added the rubber side strip on the side of the doors. For those guys that don't like other people's cars and always open it up in the parking lot, they open up the door against your car. So I thought as an interim, while I was waiting for my rock sliders, that rubber strip might help. Unfortunately it didn't, and a guy with a double cab bucky opened his door against my passenger side door and left a big dent like this in my car. I still have to have that fixed, but for any car that's a bit lower than the Jimny, that rubber strip I think is a good protection for your car, especially when you're using it in the city, you're parking it at malls and shops, that type of stuff. Other people don't look at your car the same way you do, and they still open up the door. So those rubber strips, the mats, everything I got from Suzuki, I'm very happy with the quality of the product. So far, no complaints on that side. Other extra I added to the car was seat covers. I think as soon as you get off-road, you drive it on a gravel road, having seat covers to protect your seats are really good. I went for the Takla seat covers. It's a nice synthetic material. I had a really good experience with ordering the Takla seat covers as well. They did a full custom job for me. I could choose the color of seat covers, I could choose different. I went for all the pockets that are available with the Takla seat covers. So you get a pocket on the inside of the seat, you get one in front between your legs, you get another big pocket at the back as well. And having extra pockets in the Jimny is always a positive, I think. I like to put my wallet, my mobile phone, my headlamps, everything that you always need close to you, I put in the car, or anything you need to keep safe. So normally when we go camping, I always put my wallet, my cell phone, everything valuable in those pockets in the car. Most of the time the guys don't check those pockets, and you've got a safe place. Your car is locked all the time. So that's how I use those pockets. With these accessories fitted to the Jimny now, I think it's almost there. I want to do my whole ethos in this process of building this Jimny, using it, is I think less is more. I'm not going to fit an accessory to the car that doesn't have a job. I'm not at that space yet. I know the guys are putting up nice grills, all that stuff. For me, I'll probably do that later on, as soon as I know that my car as a base is capable of doing everything I need it to do. So stuff that I definitely realized that I need is a roof rack, even just for a weekend away. Having that extra space to put light stuff on top of the roof rack, I think is a must. I am going to look at a tow bar for my car. The tow bars currently are just, I think the guys haven't thought this through. For the people that still wants to overland or off-road with their Jimnys. The tow bars that we've got available here is fitted way below your bumper, so they don't need to cut into your bumper for the towage to come through, that type of stuff. So I'll go to a few guys that I know in the business, and we're going to see if we can build a tow bar for the Jimny that actually doesn't catch when you're driving off-road, any sharp declines or inclines that the tow bar doesn't catch. I know on the previous Jimnys, the tow bars the guys fitted, the normal plug connection always gets caught when you have a sharp incline or decline on the Jimny. So that's something I want to watch out for. I want to fit this so that it's actually fit for purpose, and I'm still keeping the off-road ability of my car. The main reason I'm fitting the tow bar is I actually want to do off-road trailer that's purpose-built for the Jimny. Nice, lightweight trailer that you can put a rooftop tent on, or that you have storage space for a normal ground tent if you want. And that's my thinking behind this. I'm putting in a lot of research on trailers and how trailers should be built. And then I'll approach one of the guys with a lot of experience in overland trailers or off-road trailers. There's a lot of those guys around in South Africa. And we're going to have a look to build a trailer that's going to suit my needs. And hopefully, you know, if anybody else is interested, we'll make that available for them as well. Problems I've had with the new Jimny so far is if you're doing a lot of gravel road travel, like I did, and you don't have rock sliders fitted, you will get gravel rash on the back arches. My back arches have been damaged, and I'm going to have to look at a solution to protect them. Even if you're just driving trails with a lot of branches and everything along the line, that plastics do get scratched. And I think if you still want to keep your car looking good, you know, I think prevention is better than cure. So maybe looking at something like Raptor coating for those arches, maybe for the bumpers and the grille as well. The grille is very flat, so if you're driving on roads behind other cars, you can hear the rocks hitting the grille and even the windscreen. I've got my first chip on the windscreen. These are very upright, so they don't deflect rocks and small pebbles, that type of stuff, as well as a car with slanted windscreen. Your grille is also flat, so you're going to be picking up damage on the grille as well if you're doing a lot of gravel roads and you're driving behind other cars. I like to keep a large distance between us, especially if there's a lot of dust, that you can see what's happening in front of you. The guy in front of you may lose a tire, you're not going to see his brake lights in that dust, so always keep your following distances. But even if you keep those following distances, your front wheels tend to, as you turn, they shoot rocks at the wheel arches, and it does damage that plastic. That plastic is not that hard, and you do see scratches in them. So I'm looking out for a solution for that, but we'll post a video for you guys if we get to a solution, and then we'll look at it over a period of time and see if it is worth it to put on your car as well. Okay guys, thanks again for watching this video. This was just a short introduction to the JB74. We're going to look at all those accessories. They're going to get their own separate videos. We're going to look into the tires, the underbody protection, the suspension of the car as well. So those will be separate videos, and keep a watch out for them. We're going to try and load them as soon as possible. I've had these accessories for a while on the car, and I've been testing them, so I can give you a true reflection of my experience with them. Again, I paid for all these accessories myself. I'm not getting sponsored by any of these guys, so you actually have a true review on the accessories that I fitted to the car and my experience and the way I want to fit accessories to my JB74 Jimny. I just want to thank everyone for subscribing to the channel, liking the videos. We're still waiting for some comments for you guys. I want to know what experience you had with different accessories. Again, let's get talking on the channel. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got the website. Everything is available for you guys to make contact with us. Please make contact. Let's have a chat. Like I said, this is just my experience. If you've got any better experience, please feel free to comment on any of them. Thanks for the subscribers we already have and for liking the videos. We appreciate that. We've got stickers available, so we're going to be driving around putting those stickers on Jimnys we see all over, not sticking them on your car. Don't worry about that. We'll put them in the wipers of your car, and you can decide what you want to do with it. It's a little round sticker, so you can use that for your license disc, or you can stick it on your car somewhere if you want to. If you're not a sticker guy in the car, stick it somewhere on an ammo case or something on your camping equipment. It's got all our information on, so please have a look out for that as well. And thanks again for watching. Just Jimny on.